Just missed him. Today we are fishing some rigs closer to the West Pearl. So I'm using a tiger bait. The water's a lot dirtier here than what you saw in our last episode. We were fishing reefs way out in Bourne, and we also fished some rigs closer towards the Chef, and now we're fishing them closer towards the Wrigley's. Oh man, and the rigs are, the water's pretty stained here. The river's still got some little bit of flood level to it as we're into the early part of the summer. And the fish definitely want to be here. Each day is going to be different on how clean it is here due to if the tide's coming in or falling, on how much river water pushes right here. As the river's just, it's the West Pearl dumps out right there about maybe 2 miles from here, 1.5 miles. So it can change your water clarity and quality here pretty rapidly, but it must be salty enough on the bottom and clean enough on the bottom where they're here. And oh man, I'm missing them. They got a lot of them right here. I'm just kind of throwing it right past this little cylinder here. They're probably using that as a current break as the tide's coming in. It's coming from the Biloxi Marsh, which is about 6 or 7 miles to the east, and it's going into the Wrigley's right here. And these little trout, or summertime trout, are schooling up right on the side of this old barnacle grown rusty cylinder here. Let's see if we can get one on this cast. Had a bite on the last several casts. There he is. Got him dialed in. Let's see, that's a good one. Come on, keeper to cheaper. Cheaper to keeper. Here he comes, baby. Here he comes. Get on up. Look how dirty that water is. You can see it. You can barely see that fish. And I've said this a million times. My favorite dirty water bait. Right here. Oh, right. Chia. Tiger bait, baby. No doubt. That's my favorite one. Let's get after them. All right, y'all. I was getting a lot of little bites on that first cast. Just put that fish in a well. It's not terribly deep here, like 10 foot, and it is slick calm this afternoon. Got a pretty nice incoming tide, but not too hard. What I'm gonna do, when I feel them kind of short striking it a lot and I'm getting a lot of bites, sometimes I'll drop that jig head size down a little bit. I'm gonna drop it down to the 5/16, give it a little bit of a slower fall rate and see if those fish can grab onto it a little bit easier. There we go. Little rascal. Talk to you guys about these little male schoolies. So as we get deeper and deeper into the summer, you're gonna deal with more and more of these. The bigger trout, the big females, they need saltier and saltier water. So those 2, 3, 4, 5 pounders, they're gonna seek out saltier water. So when I come in here and I see this river water in here and it's a little dirty, that's not really good for the big ones. But It's plenty salty enough for, you know, some keepers, some decent fish. These fish are perfect size for frying. And we're just not really known nowadays for big trout in the summertime, but we'll take plenty of schoolies like this. Just got to make sure you bring your measuring stick. Sam's got a pretty good one there. And remember, Louisiana went from 12 inches, which this would have probably been a keeper last year, not this year, to 13 inches, which Sam's is good enough there. And when you find them on these rigs, I typically like to make a little lap around them, see where they're at. And once you find where your first couple bites are coming from, they'll typically school up pretty tight in there, and you can really get to hammering on them suckers one after the other. Let's see if we can put a little box together on this beautiful summer afternoon.
Go to born, hit them wellheads hard.
Crazy. I didn't really fit the other side of it.
Could just be looking the other direction.
Come on, baby girl. Here we go. Get on up here. Got another keeper. Right now, what we're looking at so far is about a 50-50 to keeper to throwback ratio. It's not too bad this time of year. Simba, why don't you bring me that fish, bud? He likes chewing on them, but I don't have him trained to pick them up and bring them to me. Let me grab them. Another nice little 14-incher or so there, and we'll take plenty of these all day today. Have a nice fish fry. There's another keeper Sam's got here.
They're all coming up to the top and dancing today.
Sam's using lemon head. That's another great dirty water color. And what tiger bait is, it's a lemon head belly with a hard purple top. That's my favorite, the tiger bait for the dirty water. And I'd say lemon head's a close second. Another good one, limbo slice, the purple haze, Vortex, Spartacus, Vortex. I like all of those for dirty water. And you're gonna deal with some dirty water sometimes, and that's just part of it. Oh, good fish, good fish. They all head shaking really nice. Head shaker. And the boat he goes.
Well, this one's got one eye.
One eye Willie?
One eye Willie. I want something to fall, and I kind of like slow reel it and then let them chase it.
Just like that, huh? Oh, what we got here? Summertime whopper. Oh, he ain't that big. But again, another keeper. Another cheaper to keeper, baby. We'll just patiently wait for our big ones to come back. Probably get back in the Pontchartrain Basin come October. In the summertime nowadays, we catch a lot of these. Ever since they closed the Miss-A-Go, this Pontchartrain Basin's kind of like a school trout estuary in the summer, and we get the big ones in the fall and the winter and the early spring. But still some really good fine fishing out here. Get him, boy. Keeper.
He grew up on me.
Growing up. Oh yeah, head shaker. Lemon head. Get him, Simba. Whoa. He tried to rip the pole out my hand. Well, we talked about this in the last episode. There's multiple artificial reefs out here in Bourne. There's a lot of old rigs like this that have been pulled up that you can kind of find either through a friend or maybe on Google. And what happens is when they put these reefs in, they put shells on the bottom to harden the bottom. That way it'll keep the legs and stuff intact better. So it's not always just the actual structure that holds the fish. It's what the bottom's made out of. And you know, some days these fish will be way off. They're gonna be more or less where the reef is, where the shell pad is. So finding that shell pad or the sweet spot on the rig is important. And they got plenty of rigs out here. Some of them are little baby rigs like this that look like not much of anything. Then you got big giant rigs that you would think would be way better, but that's not always the case. Just because the rig's huge don't mean it's any better than a little bitty baby rig like this. And really, I like the small rigs better a lot of times because it's easier to make a quick little lap around them and find where that sweet spot is. If it's a bigger rig, there's more area that they might be traveling or schooling up on. Maybe be a little bit harder to find them. But they got a good wad of fish right here on this rig here, and the majority of them are keepers. So we're having a nice little afternoon here. Sam's got another one. Keeper or throwback?
It's a keeper.
Keep it a keeper.
All right, here we go. He's shaking his head on top of the water. We got him coming in. Oh yeah. Should be a little 1.5 pound trout. Pound. Yep, even the fish got to eat dinner almost.
Sam's on a roll. On a roll patrol. Is he nice? Oh, good fish. But like I was saying before, you know, you got several of these smaller wellheads like this out here. And then you got some really, really big ones out here. And, you know, if you're at a big rig and you pull up and there's a boat there, there's plenty enough room on a big rig for 2, 3, 4 boats. But if you're running around and you pull up to a rig like this and there's a boat here, you want to be courteous. You know, maybe if the boat's fishing on the right side, you're good to fish on the left side. But you don't want to come jam somebody up. There's so many rigs out here, just simply go to the next one. But if it's a big giant rig, you know, there's plenty of room on there to where you can slide around and stay out of somebody's way. And these are great places to just, you know, spot lock the trolling motor and fish live shrimp with kids if you want. But of course, we just love using plastics, and matrix shads dribbling on the bottom is hard to beat out here on these rigs in Lake Bourne. That one didn't even let it get to the bottom. Threw it out there, it was sinking, and all of a sudden I felt my pole trying to leave my hand. We call that bite straightening the slack out. Good fish, baby. Good fish. Sam's got a double. All right, y'all. All right. All right, we're gonna go ahead and close it out here. Grab that fish. Two beautiful fish, a little double up action. Show them the color you were using, Sam. Sam's using a 3/8 ounce with a lemon. I'm using a tiger bait with a 5/16. Make sure to subscribe to the monthly bait box. That's going to be in your bait box there. And make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, as we do a lot of rig hopping in the summertime. And this is a thing to do as you get into the summer and the fish start leaving Pontchartrain and they come into Bourne. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode, guys. And until next time, good fishing.